Hello students! Today we are going to learn narrative text. Okay, before we learn about narrative text, I have some questions for you. Do you like stories? I believe you like stories, right? And what is your favorite story then? It can be from Indonesia or from Western countries or Asian countries or others. And you must know that there are many folk tales of Indonesia. Do you know any of folk tales of Indonesia? Can you mention some folk tales of Indonesia that you know? Okay, let's check it out. Okay, where the story are from. Let's match the story with its origin. So here we have Kepu Iwo, Cinelaras, Kelingking, The Legend of Pesut Mahakam, Candi Prambanan, and Pak Lebay Malang. Okay, so we are going to match the stories and their origins. We will start from Kepu Iwo. Any of you know where Kepu Iwo is from? The story of Kepu Iwo is from. Okay, that's good. It is from Bali, right? Yeah, it is from Bali. What about Cinelaras? Where is it from? Is it from Jogja, West Sumatra, is Kalimantan, Bangka Belitung, or is Java? Is Kalimantan? Okay, let's try. Oh no, it's not. It's not from East Kalimantan. Right, it is from East Java. And what about Kelingking? So the story of a very little boy called Kelingking. Right, it is from Bangka Belitung. What about the legend of Pesut Mahakam? Oh yeah, right. You know about the Mahakam, right? The Mahakam River. Yes, it is from East Kalimantan. Okay, Candi Prambanan. The story is very popular about Candi Prambanan. Okay, it is from Yogyakarta, right? And the last one, or Pak Lebay Malang, must be from West Sumatra, right? Okay, let's continue. We are going to read the story of the legend of KEMARO Island. The story is from Palembang, but before we read the story, we are going to learn some words that you are going to find in the story. Okay, here is the puzzle, and you have to complete the puzzle. This is the clue. Okay, this is the clue, and there is another clue that is the initial letter, right? The initial letter of the word. Okay, so for example, number one. Number one is very tired. Okay, the condition is very tired. Okay, and it is started with the letter E. Okay, what is it? Very good. It is exhausted. So very tired. So exhausted is very tired, right? And number two, the condition of disappointed. Disappointed, being disappointed. It starts with the letter U. Okay. Any of you know what the word is? Good. It is upset. Upset, disappointed, right? And then number three, to wish something. To wish something. So when you wish something to happen, you wish to get something. Yes, right. This expect. So you expect something, you wish something. Okay. And number four is bracelets, rings, necklaces made of gold, silver, etc. are called. the initial letter is J. What is the word? What is the word for? What is the word for bracelets, rings, necklaces made of gold, silver, etc.? What is the word? Right, it's jewelry. Yes. Now, let's go to number 5. The act of asking someone to marry you. So the act of asking someone to marry you, it is usually for boys or for gentlemen to ask someone to marry you. So the act of asking someone to marry you. So it is started with P. So what is the word for the act of asking someone to marry you? Right, it is proposal. It is a proposal, okay? So number 6 now. To give a comment. Yes, what is the word for the synonym or the word for to give a comment? It starts with O. Very good, it is order. So giving order, giving a comment, okay? And okay, now let's go to number 7. It is a place where dead people are buried. It is a place where dead people are buried. So it's a place, right? And it starts with G. Anyone knows? Anyone knows the word for a place where dead people are buried? Yes, yeah, right. It is graveyard, right? Graveyard. Okay, and then number 8, to swim underwater. To swim underwater, meaning that you swim but it is underwater. Usually when you swim, part of your body are beyond up the water, but this one is your body is totally under the water. Right, it is dive, right? Dive, good. And then number 9, feeble. Feeble, the state of being feeble is that very tired, almost sick, almost cannot do anything. That's feeble. Okay, that's right. It's weak, right? And then the last one, number 10, is a present. A present is something that you give to someone in a special occasion like birthday or wedding or anniversary, something like that. So what is it? A present. The word starts with G. Give, right? Very good. Give. Okay. Yes. Now let's read the legend of KEMARO Island. The legend of KEMARO Island. Once upon a time, a handsome prince from China came to Palembang for his study. One day he met a princess called Siti Fatima and fell in love at once. He came to the palace to propose Princess Siti Fatima, and luckily the parents, the king and the queen, agreed with the proposal. Prince Tan Bun An then ordered his men to go back to China to tell about the news to his parents, as well as asking his parents to send gifts for the parents of Princess Siti Fatima. Prince Tan Bun An's parents were happy to know the news. They put jewels and other luxurious things inside vegetables and fruit to disguise them from the robbery. Several weeks later, a big ship came from China. Prince Tan Bun An's men stepped down from the ship and reported to his master that they had brought the gifts. Prince Tan Bun An quickly climbed up the ship to see the gifts. How disappointed he was when he saw that the ship was full of vegetables and fruits. Upset and angry, Prince Tan Bun An threw all the vegetables and the fruit to the river. Later, he found out that there were jewels and expensive gifts inside the fruit and vegetables. Regretful of his stupid action, he threw himself to the river, trying to get back the vegetables and the fruit. He swam and dived here and there. He became exhausted and weak and finally drowned in a big river. Hearing the horrific incident happen to her lover, Princess Siti Fatima ran to the river and plunged herself into the river. Their bodies were never found. However, not long after the incident, a small new island appeared in the middle of the river. People believed that the island was the couple's graveyard. They called the island Pulau KEMARO. Okay, beautiful story, but sad one, isn't it? Okay, that one, the story of the Pulau KEMARO is an example of a narrative text. Let's discuss a little bit about narrative text. So every text has function, and the function of a narrative text is one, to amuse or entertain the readers or the listeners. So one of the function is to amuse or entertain the readers or the listeners. And then another one is to encourage the readers or the listeners to possess or to have better characters. And it is usually learned through the message or the moral value of the story. And then the last one is that to preserve the cultural heritage. To preserve the cultural heritage. Okay, so that's about the function of narrative text. Let's see. We have discussed that narrative text has moral value or the message inside the story, and how to find the message of a story. This is the tip. Okay, please read the tips. Okay, after you read tips about how to find the message of a story, now can you guess what is the moral value or the message of the legend of KEMARO Island is? Yes? Okay, so this is perhaps, yeah, because Tan Bun An get angry easily. Tan Bun An was so angry that he didn't ask and he didn't check first the fruit and the vegetable presented to him, so that accident happened. So the moral probably don't get angry easily. And another one, look before you lead. Look before you lead. So before you do something, you have to think it over. You have to check. You have to learn the situation. Okay. This is a proverb. Okay, this is a proverb. Look before you leap. So this is actually usually happen to a frog. So that's why the picture is a frog. Okay. So before you leap or you jump on something or you do something, you have to check first. You have to learn. Okay, you have to learn everything. You have to learn the situation. you have to learn the consequences too. You have to think about the consequences too. Okay. Yes, probably that those are don't get angry easily and look before you leap are the message of the story. You can find others. Let's talk about the structure of narrative text. Okay, the first is orientation. In the orientation, usually this is in the beginning of the story because this part introduces characters and the setting or the scene, yeah, when or where the story happened. In the story of the legend of the KEMARO Island, the scene was in Palembang, and the characters were the main characters are Tan Pun An and the princess Siti Fatimah, and then there are also the parents or the king and the queen and others. Okay, and now the evaluation. This part tells that the problems start to happen. In the story that we have read, the problem happens because the parents put or disguise the fruit and vegetables, and the Tan Bun An could not find out about it earlier. So that's the problem start in that part. Okay, and then the complication. The complication is when this is the peak, or yeah, the peak or the high part of the problem. That is when the Tan Bun An was so angry and plunged herself into the river, and he was getting very tired, very weak, and finally he drowned. And the resolutions is the part tells how the problem is resolved for better or for worse. In this part, when the princess knew about the accident, she plunged herself into the river too. Okay, so that's the resolution, and at the end, an island emerged from the river. That's the resolution of the story. Okay. Okay, let's check. This is the structure of the story that we have just read. Okay, so this is the orientation. Introduces the time, once upon a time, and introduces also the characters, prince from China, also Siti Fatimah, and of course the place is in Palembang. Okay, so this is the orientation, introducing the setting of time, place, and the characters. And the evaluation is when the problems started to happen. Okay, this is the evaluation happened here, and then the complication because the Prince Tan Pun An was upset and angry, and then he did something stupid, and then he plunged himself into the river, and so on. And the resolution is that when the story ends with a very sad ending, this is the resolution. Okay, so the resolution can be happy ending or sad ending. Okay. Okay, now narrative text is very unique. So there are some language features that you will find out in a narrative text. Okay, for example, narrative text is usually built with past tenses because the story happened in the past. Okay, so for example, is that the jungle was dark. It is was using was because it indicates something in the past. Okay, The princess cried a lot. Okay. And then action verbs. The action verbs also in the past, like met from the verb meet, and then eat, add, right, bring, proud, etc. And then the saying verbs, because in a narrative text usually there are dialects. So narrative text will use a lot of words like said, promise, exclaim, yell, cried, for example. And then also the thinking verbs. The narrative text usually the character will think, or because it is in the past, we thought, felt, understood, for example. And then also the use of adjectives. So there are a lot of adjectives like pretty, handsome, clever, tired, hot, dark, beautiful, big, wooden, etc. And then also the conjunction and time connective, because this is a story, so there is a connective to show the sequence of time, for example, and then, but, or after that, and next, etc. And then also the adverbs and adverbs of places or place or time or manner. For example, once upon a time, at night, early in the morning, hardly, etc. Okay, after reading and having discussion about narrative text, I think you are now ready to read more about narrative text, and probably you can retell a narrative text. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe this channel to get more information about English learning, especially in school, and by clicking the subscribe button, and also to click the bell, so you will get notified if there are new videos. Okay,